Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome to Ummah Radio. You are listening to the Tafseer class with myself, Abu Mus'ab. Alright, so we are still busy with Tafseer ibn Kathir, volume 1 here in Surah Al-Baqarah. We had just completed ayah number 12, so we are continuing on from we had completed ayah number 15, we are continuing on from ayah number 16, which is أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الضَّلَالَةَ بِالْهُدَىٰ. So we'll start on from there. Bismillahi walhamdulillahi wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So the ayah, أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. In this ayah Allah says, they are the ones who have purchased misguidance with guidance. So their transaction has not been fruitful, nor were they guided. Okay, just to repeat the ayah again. أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. This ayah is still speaking about the munafiqeen, continuing on from the previous ayat, and which will still continue on into the next few ayat as well. This is speaking about the munafiqeen, that as a result of their nifaq, their hypocrisy, that these people, you will understand now from the coming ayat how this all fits in. So anyway, these munafiqeen, they have purchased misguidance with guidance. Meaning they used guidance as a bargaining chip and they threw it away and replaced it with misguidance. So فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ, this transaction that they had done did not bear fruit. Which transaction is this? The transaction that they did was the selling of the iman for misguidance. That is what is the transaction. So وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ, nor were they guided. Now moving on to the tafsir, he says قال السدي عن ابن مسعود وعن ناس من الصحابة رضي الله عنهم. Imam Sudi rahimahullah, he reports from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu and from a group of Sahaba radiyallahu anhum as well, that they said with regards to the ayah, أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى أي أخذوا الضلالة وتركوا الهدى. They interpreted this ayah that those are the ones who have purchased misguidance with guidance. They interpreted it as أخذوا الضلالة, they took on misguidance, وتركوا الهدى, and they abandoned guidance. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى أي الكفر بالإيمان. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu interpreted the ayah and he said it is those people who have purchased kufr with iman, meaning they sold the iman and purchased kufr. وقال مجاهد آمنوا ثم كفروا. Imam Mujahid rahimahullah, he said they have believed then disbelieved. All just different synonyms of how they interpret and translated the ayah. So وقال قتادة استحبوا الضلالة على الهدى. Imam Qatada rahimahullah, he said they have preferred misguidance over guidance. وهذا الذي قاله قتادة يشبه في المعنى قوله تعالى في ثمود فأما ثمود فهديناهم فاستحبوا العمى على الهدى. Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he says this statement of Imam Qatada, where he said that they have preferred misguidance over guidance, he says this statement of his is similar in meaning to the ayah which Allah says with regards to the people of Thamud, that فَأَمَّا ثَمُودَ, as for Thamud, فَهَدَيْنَاهُمْ, we had guided them, فَاسْتَحَبُّوا الْعَمَى عَلَى الْهُدَى, but they preferred blindness over guidance, meaning they preferred to be kuffar over accepting iman. So he's saying the same here, that these munafiqeen, they had preferred misguidance and kufr and hypocrisy over iman. Iman here, what does it mean? Iman means the belief, the true belief in Allah. Like basically, when you say the shahada, you mean it. Not you are saying it with your tongue, but you don't believe it in your heart. Which is the shan, the salient feature of the hypocrites, is that they only said it lip service, but they never meant it. This does not refer to a person who is weak, who has weak iman. Now, a person who has weak iman, he is not counted amongst this group here. This just refers to the pure asli kafir munafiqeen, the asli kafir munafiqeen who are actually in reality kuffar, who will be in the lowest pit of Jahannam. Okay, so you know these ayat, how do we bring benefit in our lives from it? Okay, all these ayat, in fact, if you look at many of these ayat today, in fact, if you look at the ayat which are still to come now, which will follow on from this ayat onwards, you will find that despite the fact that it's referring to the munafiqeen, you will find that these same features and things that the munafiqeen are taken to task for, we find it in the lives of many Muslims today. So when we look at the words of the ayat, the words of the Quran and Hadith, we have one usul, one principle in with regards to tafsir. We say al-ibratu li'umum al-lafz la li khusus al-sabab, that the ibrah, we take lesson from the unrestricted generality of the words of the ayah, la li khusus al-sabab, not restricted only. Okay, it was revealed regarding this one particular people or this one particular incident, so therefore it doesn't apply to us. We don't look at it that way. So although these ayat are with regards to the munafiqeen or the kuffar or the people of Jahannam and all these sort of things here, we have to look at these ayat and not say, okay, no, this was revealed regarding Abdullah ibn Ubay bin Salul, so it don't apply to us. This is only for people who are of pure kufr, who don't really believe, so it don't apply to us. That shouldn't be our outlook. We should be looking at these ayat and seeing that how can I make certain that I don't fall into the same thing like this, that my iman must be true, that I must not sell my deen for the dunya. And in fact, with this ayah, ishtaraw dalalata bil huda, this is something which has become quite common actually today, where people sell this comes in many different ayat in the Quran also. They sell the deen for a measly amount. This is similar here, where people sell the iman in today's times to please the kuffar or to get in good with some people, or because they are just deviant in their own evil nature. So they sell the iman, they sell the guidance in replacement for misguidance. So how can we fall into these things? For example, like I just mentioned now, you take, for example, some of these, you have people who may at one stage in time they were scholars, good scholars and things, but then they fell in with the governments, even munafiqeen governments and things like this. So they gave fatwa according to the whims and fancies that the government want, whether it's out of fear for their lives or whether it's just because they grew, as you can say, accustomed to the fat lifestyle that they were leading, so they couldn't bear having to leave all those luxuries and endure some difficulty. So as a result of this, that whatever the government required of them, they were only too happy to do so. You had people who were Sunni scholars who, working for the Shias, they began to curse the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum because the government, the Shia government, wanted, obviously being the kuffar Shia that they were, they cursed the Sahaba. So obviously when you are used to those sort of things and you're getting the paycheck, then you follow in turn and give fatwa and things, everything according to their whims and fancies. And this we could see quite a lot in today's times, as as you can say, the internet and the communication between the countries and things is so vast that it's easy to find out what people says, videos and audios and things traveling around the world. So you see how more this has happened and taken place in today's time. And I don't want to mention names. Many people should know from their own side. They can think up the names, whether they're White House imams or whichever other scholars for dollars or scholars for pounds and pennies also, whatever the case may be, scholars of Elizabeth and the Marines also. You have all these sort of people. And yes, even modernists as well. And in fact, modernists more than others. In fact, modernists stand at the forefront of these people here. Because who are modernists? If you look at what is a modernist, basically, a modernist is a person who feels, وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ ذَلِكَ, that Islam is backwards. That is why he wants to modernize it. That's the crux of what a modernist is all about. The hudud, the shari punishments that Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam had placed down, they feel it is barbaric. So this Shari'i hudud, just as one example, this is the guidance which Allah has put down, and they say this is barbaric and cruel and inhumane and all other statements like this, and they come out with some kuffar law that the kuffar had come out with, and they want to put this forward as being the right way. So we can see the same thing here. They have sold their iman, they have sold the guidance being the Quran and the Sunnah, the method as practiced by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and carried on by the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. They sell all of this in exchange for the misguidance and kufr which comes from the kuffar. So if you look, actually the modernists are standing at the forefront with the same quality of the munafiqeen which Allah has mentioned here, that it's to be found in them. And like I said, we don't restrict it only to the modernists, only to the kuffar, only to the munafiqeen. We look even in our own lives, whether these things don't make us kuffar, we should also look to make certain that we don't fall into anything that it can be interpreted to be in the same sort of situation here. And yes, you had modernists and the modernist trend as it is, like I say, not only restricted to modernists, but all these people, they with all these things that they have brought about, some are extreme kufr, some are kufr of a lesser degree that does not put a person outside the fold of Islam, and some are just misguidance and things like this. So like I say, we don't restrict it only to those things which put you outside the fold of Islam, but we will encompass everything to make certain that we don't fall into that same trap. Alright, so to continue on, he says, وَحَاصِلُ قَوْلِ الْمُفَسِّرِينَ فِيمَا تَقَدَّمَ. Now to summarize and to wrap up what the Mufassirin have said previously, all in a nutshell now, he says, أَنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ عَدَلُوا عَنِ الْهُدَى إِلَى الضَّلَالِ وَأَعْطَادُوا عَنِ الْهُدَى بِالضَّلَالَةِ. That the munafiqeen, these hypocrites, they had turned away from guidance and turned towards misguidance, and they had replaced their guidance with misguidance. وَهُوَ مَعَنَا قَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى, and this is the meaning of the ayah, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الضَّلَالَةَ بِالْهُدَى. They are the ones who have purchased misguidance with guidance. أي بَذَلُوا الْهُدَى ثَمَنًا لِلضَّلَالَةِ, meaning they have spent their guidance as a price for purchasing misguidance. So the money that they were using to buy misguidance was their guidance, which was the iman. So they bartered the iman to buy kufr. ولهذا قال تعالى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين, أي ما ربحت صفقتهم في هذه البيعة. So this is why Allah Ta'ala had mentioned فما ربحت تجارتهم, so their transaction did not bear any fruit, وما كانوا مهتدين, nor were they guided, أي ما ربحت صفقتهم في هذه البيعة, meaning they had not, this transaction of theirs did not bear any benefit for them. وما كانوا مهتدين أي راشدين في صنيعهم ذلك, nor were they guided, مهتدين meaning guided in this action of theirs. وقال ابن جرير عن قتادة رحمهما الله فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين قد والله رأيتموهم خرجوا من الهدى إلى الضلالة ومن الجماعة إلى الفرقة ومن الأمن إلى الخوف ومن السنة إلى البدعة. Imam Ibn Jarir rahimahullah, he reports from Imam Qatada rahimahullah, who said with regards to the ayah فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين, he said قد والله رأيتموهم, I take an oath by Allah that indeed we have seen these sort of people. خرجوا من الهدى إلى الضلالة, they have exited from guidance towards misguidance. ومن الجماعة إلى الفرقة, from the jama'ah, from the masses of the Muslims, إلى الفرقة, to breaking off into individual small the misguided sects. ومن الأمن إلى الخوف, from peace إلى الخوف to insecurity. They left all that which was safe and they went to that which was full of insecurities. ومن السنة إلى البدعة, and they left the sunnah and went towards innovation. So that's the end of the tafsir of ayah number 16. The tafsir of, or rather the description of the munafiqeen continues on with the next two ayat as well. So continuing on, مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون. Allah says their example is like the example of the person who stokes a fire. He kindles and lights a fire. فلما أضاءت ما حوله, now when this fire lights up and illuminates all that which is around him. ذهب الله بنورهم, Allah takes away their light. وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون, and leaves them in darkness that they cannot see anything in it. صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون, deaf, dumb and blind, and they will not come back again. Now you come on to the tafsir and you understand what exactly is being meant here. Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he says, يقال مثل والجمع أمثال. Yeah, just some Arabic that the word مثل, it's singular and the plural form is أمثال, which means a likeness, an example. قال الله تعالى وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس وما يعقلها إلا العالمون. He says, just explaining and using this word here, Allah Ta'ala mentions in another ayah, وَتِلْكَ الْأَمْثَالُ نَضْرِبُهَا لِلنَّاسِ, and those are the stories, the likenesses, the examples which we give for the people. وَمَا يَعْقِلُهَا إِلَّا الْعَالِمُونَ, and none understand it and comprehends it except the alimun, the people of knowledge. وتقدير هذا المثل أن الله سبحانه شبههم في اشترائهم الضلالة بالهدى وصيرورتهم بعد البصيرة إلى العمى بمن استوقد نارا. So what this example is all about is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has likened these people in the selling of their guidance and purchasing misguidance and going from sight to blindness. Allah likens them with a person who has kindled a fire. فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ مَا حَوْلَهُ, then once it had illuminated all that around him, وَانْتَفَعَ بِهَا وَأَبْصَرَ بِهَا مَا عَنْ يَمِينِهِ وَشِمَالِهِ وَتَأَنَّسَ بِهَا, after it illuminated everything around him and he was benefited by being able to see on his right and on his left, وَتَأَنَّسَ بِهَا, and he received joy and delight from this fire, being able to see everything. فَبَيْنَ هُوَ كَذَلِكَ, while he is in that state, طُفِئَتْ نَارُهُ وَصَارَ فِي ظَلَامٍ شَدِيدٍ. Now while he is in this situation, this state with being able to see everything and benefiting from the fire, suddenly his fire is extinguished. وَصَارَ فِي ظَلَامٍ شَدِيدٍ, and he is suddenly left in pitch darkness. لا يبصر ولا يهتدي وهو مع هذا. He cannot see, nor is there any guidance for him, and despite this, مع هذا الصم لا يسمع. He is deaf, he cannot hear. أبكم لا ينطق. He is mute, he cannot speak. أعمى لو كان ضياء لما أبصر. He is blind, that even if there were to be light, he would not be able to see it. فلهذا لا يرجع إلى ما كان عليه قبل ذلك. So because of this, لا is at the ending of the ayah say فهم لا يرجعون, they will not return, meaning they will not return to that which they were upon previously. فكذلك هؤلاء المنافقون في استبدالهم الضلالة عوضا عن الهدى. So similarly is the situation of these hypocrites who had replaced and exchanged their guidance in return for misguidance. واستحبابهم الغي على الرشد, and they preference for misguidance over guidance. وفي هذا المثل دلالة على أنهم آمنوا ثم كفروا. And in this example which Allah has given is a proof that these hypocrites, they had brought iman and then they had disbelieved. They had become kuffar. كما أخبر تعالى عنهم في غير هذا الموضع والله أعلم, like how Allah Ta'ala mentions in other places of the Quran. Wallahu a'lam. This tafsir continues on for quite a bit here. Yes, they were Muslim first. The hypocrites, the minute, you see, the thing is with the munafiqeen, the minute they said the shahada, they became Muslim. And many of the munafiqeen, there were many different types of munafiqeen. In fact, as you will continue on with the tafsir here tonight, inshallah, you'll see that Allah mentions in these following ayat that there are different types of munafiqeen. Some, okay, you'll see, I don't want to jump the gun, but you'll see now in a moment that what are the different types of munafiqeen. We passed by previously that there's a linguistic munafiq and a shari'i munafiq, that one is a kafir, one is not a kafir. But yeah, even amongst the kafir munafiqeen, there are even levels amongst them. So yes, some of them definitely they were Muslim and then they became kuffar, but definitely they became kuffar. That is what he is implying over here. So he continues, he says وقال الرازي والتشبيه ها هنا في غاية الصحة لأنهم بإيمانهم اكتسبوا أولا نورا. Imam al-Razi rahimahullah, he said that the tashbih, the likeness which Allah has given here, it is on the highest level of correctness. There's no better example that could be given. Because لِأَنَّهُمْ بِإِيمَانِهِمْ, because of their iman, اكتسبوا أولا نورا, that they had first brought iman, and as a result of that they had earned some light. ثم بنفاقهم ثانيا أبطلوا ذلك, then as a result of their hypocrisy which came second, they أبطلوا ذلك, they destroyed that light of theirs. فوقعوا في حيرة عظيمة, so they fell into a great confusion. فإنه لا حيرة أعظم من حيرة الدين, because there is no greater confusion than being confused about your deen. وصح ضرب مثل الجماعة بالواحد كما قال تعالى مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا. Yeah, he moves on to a little bit of Arabic, he says, and this is but more higher Arabic. In any case, he says that it is correct to use an example of a group for one person, like how Allah Ta'ala mentions in another ayah that مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا, that the likeness of those people who were given the Torah and then they did not upkeep it. كمثل الحمار, now حمار suddenly moves on to, we were on plural form, now we move on to singular. So their likeness is like a donkey which is carrying books. So yeah, it's just a little bit from an Arabic perspective that he's quoting here. In any case, he continues on, he says وقال بعضهم تقدير الكلام مثل تقدير الكلام مثل قصتهم كقصة الذين استوقدوا نارا وقد التفت في أثناء المثل من الواحد إلى الجمع في قوله تعالى. So he says some of the other mufassirin, they have said that the تقدير الكلام, what has been mentioned here is that the story is similar to the story of those people who had kindled a fire. And وقد التفت في أثناء المثل من الواحد إلى الجمع, in the middle of the sentence, the story, it changed from singular form to plural form, as you see في قوله تعالى, like he says in the ayah when Allah says فلما أضاءت ما حوله, when it had illuminated that which is around him, one singular man is being used here. ذهب الله بنورهم, then Allah turns the sentence just like this and says then Allah takes away their light, بنورهم. It changed suddenly from singular to plural without there being any change anywhere else in the sentence, that there's nothing else that was mentioned. It's just simply the light had illuminated around him and Allah took their light away. So he says ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. The rest of the ayah صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون, right until the end. He changed from singular in the beginning, then Allah had taken away their light and left them in darkness that they could not see, deaf, dumb and blind, and فهم لا يرجعون, and they will not return again. So وهذا أفصح في الكلام وأبلغ في النظام. This is from higher Arabic, from balagha, from ethic, the high level Arabic, that he says you move like this in this particular manner from addressing a singular person and you suddenly change it into plural, and other way around, as you'll see in another ayah when he comes again to that point. So in any case, this is all just from an Arabic perspective that he is quoting all of this here. He continues on, he says وقوله تعالى ذهب الله بنورهم أي ذهب عنهم بما ينفعهم وهو النور وأبقى لهم ما يضرهم وهو الإحراق والدخان. So Allah Ta'ala mentions here that ذهب الله بنورهم, that Allah takes away their light, أي ذهب عنهم, away from them that which benefits them, وهو النور, and that which benefits them is the light. وأبقى لهم ما يضرهم وهو الإحراق والدخان, but he leaves for them behind that which harms them, which is the burning and the smoke. وتركهم في ظلمات وهو ما هم فيه من الشك والكفر والنفاق, and he leaves them in darkness, and that darkness is that which they are in of doubt and disbelief and hypocrisy. لا يبصرون أي لا يهتدون إلى سبيل خير ولا يعرفونها. They cannot see, meaning they cannot be guided to a good path, nor can they even recognize it. وهم مع ذلك صم لا يسمعون خيرا, and despite that they are deaf, they cannot hear any goodness. بكم لا يتكلمون بما ينفعهم, they are mute, they cannot speak anything which can benefit them. عمي في ضلالة وعماية البصيرة, they are blind in misguidance and even from being able to see anything good, they are blind to that too. كما قال تعالى فإنها لا تعمل أبصار ولكن تعمل قلوب التي في الصدور. Like Allah Ta'ala mentioned in another ayah that it is not the eyes in the head which is blind, but rather it is the hearts in the chests which are blind. فلهذا لا يرجعون إلى ما كانوا عليه من الهداية التي باعوها بالضلالة. So because of this, they cannot return to that which they were upon of guidance, which they had now sold and purchased misguidance. So normally the way Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah makes tafsir is that he normally makes tafsir on Quran with the Quran. In this, you have different types of tafsir that you would give, like a literal tafsir, that literally this is a story and their story is similar to this. But here in this case, as you'll see now, Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he gives a little bit, this with now coming in the next ayah at least, he gives a little bit of a different sort of tafsir, that it's more figurative than literal. Although literal is true, but he gives you another, lets you look at the situation, the scenario from another angle, which is from a figurative angle. But you'll see that in a moment. In any case, to continue on with the tafsir, he says, وقال عبد الرحمن بن زيد بن أسلم في قوله تعالى مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا إلى آخر الآية. Imam Abdul Rahman ibn Zayd ibn Aslam said with regards to the ayah, their likeness is like the one who had kindled a fire until the end of the ayah. He said, قال هذه صفة المنافقين كانوا قد آمنوا حتى أضاء الإيمان في قلوبهم كما أضاءت النار لهؤلاء الذين استوقدوا نارا. These people, this is the characteristic of the hypocrites. They had brought Iman until it had this Iman had illuminated their hearts, like how this light, this fire had illuminated for this people who had kindled the fire. ثم كفروا فذهب الله بنورهم فانتزعه كما ذهب بضوء هذه النار فتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. Then they disbelieved, then Allah took away this light, فانتزعه, then he removed it, like how he removed the light and the illumination from this fire, فتركهم, and he left them in the darkness, not being able to see anything. That's the end of the tafsir of ayah 17 and 18. To move on to ayah number 19, it all continues the very same story. Allah is continuing on with regards to the munafiqeen. And in this ayah, you will now see a new shade of munafiqeen that Allah speaks about. So, to continue, أو كصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم في آذانهم من الصواعق حذر الموت والله محيط بالكافرين يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Okay, question quickly. Can you please explain what you mean by figuratively rather than literally? This figurative and literal is coming now in a moment. In fact, this ayah, these two ayat which I just recited now, you'll see that when I translate it, I'll translate it literal, and when we come to the tafsir, you'll see a bit of a figurative translation. So, in any case, to translate the ayah, the أو كصيب من السماء, or the ayah now starts continuing, like I say, the same story as previously, or their likeness, their example is like a storm which comes down from the sky. فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق. In it is darkness and thunder and lightning. يجعلون أصابعهم في آذانهم. They put their fingers in their ears. من الصواعق حذر الموت. The reason they're putting their fingers in the ears is because of the thunder, the loudness of the thunder. حذر الموت, fearing and taking precaution against dying as a result of the thunderclaps. والله محيط بالكافرين, and Allah says, and Allah is all encompassing this of the disbelievers. Continuing with the next ayah, Allah says, يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم. The light, this lightning, almost snatches their sight. كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه. Every time this lightning comes and it illuminates for them, they walk quickly in that light. وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا. And when it becomes dark again upon them, they stand still. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَذَهَبَ بِسَمْعِهِمْ وَأَبْصَارِهِمْ. And if Allah wished, He would have taken away their hearing and their sight. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Indeed, Allah is all powerful over everything. So here he continues on now with the tafsir. He says, هذا مثل آخر ضربه الله تعالى لضرب آخر من المنافقين. He says this is another example which Allah gives now for another group of munafiqeen. They are also kuffar, munafiqeen who will be in finari jahannam, but they are a different type of munafiqeen. As you can, if you were to put it in another way, they are a little bit better type of munafiq, these type. Although there's no such thing as a good munafiq, but these are a better type of munafiq than the previous munafiqeen that we were discussing. So he says, وَهُمْ قَوْمٌ يُظْهِرُ لَهُمُ الْحَقَّ تَارَةً وَيَشُكُّونَ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. That they are a people, يَظْهَرُ لَهُمُ الْحَقِّ. Sometimes the truth becomes apparent for them, and at another period of time, yashukun, they are in doubt. So they are wavering. Again, these are not, like I say, this munafiqin here don't apply to people who actually believe in Allah. This applies to, as you can say again, for munafiqin, or rather I should say modernists and people like this today, who they are walking on thin ice. Sometimes they disbelieve, sometimes they believe, sometimes if something don't make sense to them, they feel that Richard Dawkins or whoever these people are, they come out with some scientific thing and it contradicts the Quran. Then these people, wa na'udhu billahi min dhalik, they feel no, the Quran is incorrect, scientifically incorrect on this point here, and the scientists, Darwin, they are correct here. So on these points they become kafir. Then they read again something else, something of iman comes to them, and then they feel they are Muslim. Then again something comes across which they dislike, and then they become kafir. These type of people here, waswasa is one thing, but one thing is when you exit the fold of Islam as a result of kufr. So these are the type of munafiqeen. You have to actually continue on with the whole ayah to see the whole picture with regards to these people. But yes, it is not simply waswasa. Waswasa is simply the thoughts which shaitan and the whisperings of shaitan which he throws on a person. It's a different thing when you now, let's take for example, you have some of these people, I forget this Banglawala, Inayat Banglawala for example. He's outright kafir on numerous things. He takes, for example, that when a'udhu billahi min dhalik, he feels that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam evolved from a monkey because Darwin says so, and Allah, when a'udhu billahi min dhalik, according to him, did not literally mean that he was the first man, but rather he was the first one who evolved from a monkey, according to this kafir. So then at another stage in time, he feels he's a Muslim, the same person, but then he makes a statement like this. Then I don't even want to repeat all the other kufr which he comes out with. So he is, if you want a prime example of someone who is meant like this type of munafiqeen, it's people like him who take kufr, that when some confusion of kufr, when some bit of kufr confusion comes to him, then they fall into that confusion and they believe that kufr like that, and then they have, so these people basically, you can say, are people who they are kuffar, while at times they seem to think they are Muslim. They have numerous beliefs of kufr. If you take it like, for example, let's take Qadianis for example also. They are kuffar and they think they are Muslims. Shias, they are kuffar and they think they are Muslims. It's a bit of a different thing from a person who just suffers from some waswasa from shaitan. These are people who are outside the fold of Islam, but they think that they are Muslim. So, any case, as you'll see now, as the ayah progresses in the tafsir, you'll see the broader picture of these people. So, he says that they are a people who sometimes they see the truth, and other times they are doubting with regards to it. And you find people like how they read one ayah of the Quran. Again, like I say, these people are all kuffar. you find a person, he'll read an ayah of the Quran and Allah says, stone the adulterer, cut off the hand of the thief, and they say, no, I can't believe this is from Allah. They're speaking about the Quran, they say, I can't believe this comes from Allah. These type of people. يشكون تارة ويظهر لهم الحق تارة. Sometimes they see the truth, sometimes they are in doubt with regards to it. So these sort of people. So فقلوبهم في حال شكهم وكفرهم وترددهم كالصيب. Now here he moves on to a bit of the figurative translation interpretation, like I was saying. So he says their hearts, in this state of their doubt and kufr and wavering, they are like كالصيب, like a sayyib, which is a thunderstorm, or basically a rainstorm. والصيب المطر نزل من السماء في حال ظلمات وهي الشكوك والكفر والنفاق. He says that a sayyib is that heavy rain which comes down from the sky in a state of darkness, and this darkness, this whole rainstorm which he says here, this is the doubt and the kufr, the disbelief, and the hypocrisy that these people are in. Now normally we would use, like I say, a figurative, a literal translation would be to say that the example is like this year, a night which is where there's a rainstorm taking place, it's dark and it's rainy, it's storming, lightning and thunder, and the people are there and they are covering themselves, putting their fingers in their ears like this. This is a more literal translation and a literal interpretation, but he's interpreting here each word, lightning, darkness, rain and things, as being characteristics and things with regards to the munafiqeen themselves. As you see here, first thing which he interpreted was the heavy rain itself, and he said that this rain which is being used here in the ayah, it refers to the state of darkness, kufr, hypocrisy and doubt which they are in. He then says, وَرَعْدٌ وَهُوَ مَا يَزْعَجُ الْقُلُوبُ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ فَإِنَّ مِنْ شَأْنِ الْمُنَافِقِينَ الْخَوْفُ الشَّدِيدُ وَالْفَزَعُ. He says, and the ra'ad, the thunder, it is that which puts fear and pesters the hearts of these people, which pesters them by putting fear in their hearts. Because it is the shan, it is the characteristic of the hypocrites to be always in a state of severe fear and fright. Like كما قال تعالى يحسبون كل صيحة عليهم. Like Allah Ta'ala mentions in another ayah, they think يحسبون كل صيحة عليهم, they think that every shout is against them. Meaning every time something comes, they think here they are now, they come for me, that sort of thing. They think everyone's out to get them. They are afraid because they are, like he says here, that they, which is the shan of the munafiqeen, they think everybody is out to get them. In fact, if you look at even these sort of people, the modernists and these people who, like I say, they are kuffar in reality, though they think at times that they are Muslim. Every time you'll find them making comments, extremist, this sort of statements here, because they think every time they hear a Muslim say something, they seem to think, yeah, the Muslims trying to kill them, everything like this. They're forever making these sort of comments and statements. Yes, paranoid is more correct word to use for them. They are paranoid. They think everybody's out to get them. Okay, they are supposed to be killed in any case, but they are, because of their hypocrisy, they are left in a state of paranoia where they seem to think everybody is out to get them. وقال ويحلفون بالله إنهم لمنكم وما هم منكم ولكنهم قوم يفرقون لو يجدون ملجأ أو مغارات أو مدخلا لولوا إليه وهم يجمحون. He says it's like a similar ayah when Allah speaks about the munafiqeen, and Allah says وَيَحْلِفُونَ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُمْ لَمِنْكُمْ, and they take an oath by Allah that indeed they are with you. وَمَا هُمْ مِنْكُمْ وَلَكِنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ يَفْرَقُونَ, but they are not with you, but instead they are a nation, a people who are afraid. يفرقون meaning they are afraid. لو يجدون ملجأ أو مغارات أو مدخلا, if they were to find a refuge or a cave or any place that they could enter to hide, لولوا إليه وهم يجمحون, they would turn to it running. They won't walk away and hide and slink away. They'll run away, become cave crawlers or whatever the case may be, just to get out of the way and hide away somewhere. Meaning as you can see, which was the stance also always of the munafiqeen, whenever, I'm talking now in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever there was a battle, whenever there were the the munafiqeen, they would come out like this with the Muslims, or either making an excuse and don't even come out at all with the Muslims, but they would come out with the Muslims and then make some excuse and just to run away and hide somewhere. These sort of things here. Whatever excuse, whatever refuge, whatever cave, whatever anything they would find, they would just take it and run, take the highway. There they go. That's the shan of the munafiqeen. Okay, now what about people who say stuff like, oh, don't search or watch this on YouTube because they will find you and take you as a terrorist? Okay, there's a difference between being paranoid and, okay, there's being brave, there's being foolish, and there's being paranoid. Each one, sometimes the lines become blurred between them, and people take bravery, they take stupidity and foolishness as bravery. You know, it's like you walk in the middle of the street in front of the cars and you think you are brave. That's foolish. You say, no, I'm brave, the cars won't hit me. And then a car hits you over and you die. That is what you call stupidity. It's foolishness, it's not bravery whatsoever. So, this is the type of things. When it comes to whether it's usage of the internet or searching on YouTube or whatever the case may be, there are ways, yes, for people to track. In fact, if you look YouTube, everything they have, record history. So, if you are a person who uses YouTube, you watch a couple of videos, you look on the right side of the window, some suggested videos for you. Based on what you watch, those type of videos will come out on the side. Why? Because YouTube's history tells you that, okay, you like watching from this person and this type of thing, so these are suggested videos. So that, yes, as far as YouTube is concerned, they do know that this is a reality. Now, whether this will actually happen, that they will catch you and put you in jail and things like that, this is a different story. But when it comes to YouTube, no one can arrest you and throw you as a terrorist and things if you are watching YouTube. Because for the fact of the matter is, YouTube is the channel, the website of the kuffar. If they allow it on YouTube, then how can they take you to task for it? What they take you to task for and arrest you and things like this is when you have what they call terrorist material, which comes from, as you can say, from mujahideen sources. That's a bit of a different thing. But if you watch things on YouTube, there's no way they can find a problem with you, because then it's their duty to take the videos down on YouTube. But so in any case, yeah, in a nutshell, they can maybe put you on a watch list, maybe silently by themselves, and say, this person, they like to watch the things here and this and that, but they can't come and take you and put you away and lock you up as a terrorist. Okay, maybe they can. No one's saying they can't do it. It is possible. But then it's possible, like I say, you can walk just outside your door, you'll find a banana peel there, you'll slip, you'll break your neck and you'll die. That's also possible. Anything is possible. But whether it's probable, that's a different story altogether. So a person must not blur the lines between bravery and foolish. You know, it's one thing, like I always say, if a person wants to go for jihad, you don't advertise it scream it from the rooftops. You don't come now screaming in the street, I'm going for jihad tomorrow, I'm going for jihad tomorrow. You come to the airport, they lock you up and they throw you in jail. That's foolishness, that's not bravery. So as long as you stay within the parameters of what is, as you can say, safe behavior, which is according to the Sharia, then there's no harm in that. But the person should not be now overly. Another thing which I advise is that whatever you do on the internet or in real life, Allah sees everything. And the kuffar, they are not Allah, they cannot see everything. But there are many things which they can see. Now, you have to take into consideration, based on where you live, if you live in the West and all these sort of things here, that the kuffar are out to get the Muslims and the mujahideen and anyone who supports the mujahideen for that matter. As we can see, many people have to leave the country and hide because of the kuffar chasing after them, terrorist supporter and sympathizer and recruiter and things like this. So this is a reality as well that the person should take care of. So if you are going to be taking part in whatever the case may be, then you should expect and have this thought in your mind that this is what can happen to me. So that will, as you can say, guide your actions, so that you know you don't step outside the bounds of what is permitted, even from their laws. Okay, you may be breaking their laws here and there and nobody minds about that, but on the whole I mean, you are staying above board. So no one can basically lock you up and throw you away. I mean, throw the key away after locking you up. So, any case, that there's a difference between this type of people here, who, or rather between the paranoia of the munafiqeen and the ordinary paranoia which comes from people, and as you can say, which also comes from cowardice. So there's a difference between these different types of paranoia. Just simply being paranoid does not mean a person is a munafiq again. But paranoia is a quality, a characteristic of the munafiqeen, but it is not the only, or rather it's not limited and restricted to them only. So any case, if people tell you, oh, don't watch this, don't search this, these sort of things, yeah, if you want to listen to them, it's your business, your loss, whatever the case may be, however you prefer to take it. And if you do, go ahead. Like I say, you must be aware that this can happen, and you take your precautions to prevent that sort of things from happening. Then it's like what you say in privately to one person, you must have the same, as you can say, guts to say it in front of 1 million people. So the same sort of thing here. Whatever you do in private, you must have the same conviction to carry it out and say it in public if something does happen. And I make dua that know that Allah protects all the Muslims throughout the world, and that nothing of this sort happens. But if you are going to be becoming vocal in whatever way, then take your precaution so that none of these sort of things happen to you. Alright, any case, continuing on, so we were doing now the part where he mentioned the ayah that with regard the munafiqeen, they are such scared people that if they were to find some refuge, some cave, any place of any opening, some hole somewhere, they would run to it and crawl and hide away inside there. That's how they are. So now he continues on. He says, وَالْبَرْقِ. Now with regards to the lightning, he says, وَمَا يَلْمَعُ فِي قُلُوبِ هَؤُلَاءِ الضَّرْبِ مِنَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ فِي بَعْضِ الْأَحْيَانِ مِنْ نُورِ الْإِيمَانِ. This lightning, it is that which flashes in the hearts of this type of munafiqeen at certain times, which comes from the nur of Iman. So what this actually tells you here is that these people are munafiqeen, but they have a small percentage of Iman. They are kuffar, they are fi nari jahannam, they are that type of munafiqeen, but they are not as bad as the previous mentioned munafiqeen, those that we passed by in the previous ayat. This is, like I said, the better type of munafiq. He actually does have a little bit of iman inside of him, but he's still a kafir despite that. Okay, I'll explain now in a moment as we continue on with this. So in any case, he says that this lightning, it refers to the flash of iman which comes in the heart of these people, that, you know, basically the heart is so covered in blackness of kufr and hypocrisy and things, but sometimes the cover slips and a little bit of light shines out, and this light is the barq, this lightning. So he says, وَلِهَذَا قَالَ يَجْعَلُونَ أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ مِنَ الصَّوَاعِقِ حَذَرَ الْمَوْتِ, that they put their fingers in their ears because of the thunderclaps, fearing death. وَاللَّهُ مُحِيطٌ بِالْكَافِرِينَ, and Allah is all encompassing of the disbelievers. أي ولا يجدي عنهم حذرهم شيئا لأن الله محيط بهم بقدرته, that they caution and they're putting their fingers and hiding all these sort of things, it will not benefit them in the least, because Allah is all encompassing these people in His power. All these people, they are within the power of Allah. وهم تحت مشيئته وإرادته, they are under the will and they follow the mashia and the irada, the will and the desire of Allah, that whatever Allah wishes to happen, that is what will happen. Whatever they try and hide away and things like this, it won't benefit them at all, because Allah is all powerful and they have no power. So he says, كما قال تعالى هل أتاك حديث الجنود, like how Allah Ta'ala mentions in another surah, هل أتاك حديث الجنود فرعون وثمود, did the story of the armies come to you? The stories of who? Of Fir'aun and Thamud. Then Allah moves on, says, it's basically like, did the stories not come to you already about the armies of Fir'aun and Thamud? بل الذين كفروا في تكذيب والله من ورائهم محيط. But in fact, these people who disbelieve, they are just in denial. The stories and everything that came to them, they know the reality, but they are just arrogantly and persist in their denial. Wallahu min wara'ihim muhit, and Allah encompasses them from behind. Bihim, Allah encompasses all of them. That they think they can get away and that none of this is true and everything, but Allah encompasses them and they will have to answer for everything at the end of the day. ثم قال يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم, that the lightning almost snatches their sight. أي لشدته وقوته في نفسه وضعف بصائرهم وعدم ثباتها للإيمان. He said that they, again interpreting this lightning as being the Iman, that flash of Iman, the flash of Iman which comes from their heart despite their kufr. So he says that the reason why their sight is almost snatched is because of the strength and the power of that light in its own self, and the weakness of their sight, and the sight again being not steadfast on Iman. So the Iman in its own self, it is so powerful, while the rest of their body basically is a huge conglomeration of dirt and kufr and evil and weakness. And this little bit of Iman which pricks through the darkness, it's enough to almost make them blind. That's basically what he's saying here. Okay, just to continue on for a okay, so in any case, that's the part with regards to their eyes being snatched, what that tafsir at least means. Alright, so to continue on the tafsir here, he mentions, he said, قال ابن عباس, Hadrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, he said, interpreting the ayah, يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم, that the lightning almost snatches their sight, لشدة ضوء الحق, because of the strength and how strong the light of the illumination and the light of the truth is, that it almost blinds them. كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا. Every time it becomes illuminated for them, they walk in it, and when it becomes dark upon them, they stand still. أي كلما ظهر لهم من الإيمان شيء استأنسوا به واتبعوه وتارة تعرض لهم الشكوك أظلمت قلوبهم فوقفوا حائرين. He say, every time something of Iman becomes apparent for them, they get delight from it and they follow it. But وتارة تعرض لهم الشكوك, but at other times some thorns and some, or rather I should say some doubts, they are faced with some doubts and their hearts become covered in darkness. فَوَقَفُوا حَائِرِينَ, so they stand still in a confused daze. So like these are, like I was saying, that the people who you find, like I said, these people, they want to be Muslims, or rather I should say they claim to be Muslims. Sometimes they come across something and it gives them a boost of Iman, but then they come across something which does not suit their fancies, and then they reject it, regardless whether it's an ayah of the Quran or a teaching of Islam, whatever the case may be. They reject it because it don't sit right with them. So this is now when the darkness and the doubts and things cover their hearts, and then they stand there in a dazed, confused state like that. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما يعرفون الحق ويتكلمون به فهم من قولهم به على استقامة فإذا ارتكسوا منه إلى الكفر قاموا أي متحيرين. He said, Hadrat Abdullah ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما, he says that they recognize the truth and they speak it. So as far as the speech and things go, they are on istiqamah when the light is there, the light of Iman. But when this phase passes, it's the lightning, it comes and it goes. So when this light disappears, and the light of Iman gets covered again by the darkness of the heart, then they return back to kufr and they stand there in a confused state. So like okay, just continue on. He says وهكذا يكونون يوم القيامة عندما يعطى الناس النور بحسب إيمانهم. And he says in this manner they will be on the day of Qiyamah, when each person will be given the nur, the light, according to the amount of the iman. فمنهم من يعطى من النور ما يضيء لهم مسيرة فراسخ وأكثر من ذلك وأقل من ذلك. He says some people, they will be given so much nur. Nur basically on the day of Qiyamah will be your petrol. Put it in those terms. So you will be given your can of petrol, whether you get 1 liter, whether you get 10 liters, whether you get a gallon of petrol. Each person will be getting according to the amount of his iman. He says some will get so much nur to take them a distance of only a few miles. Some will get more than that, some will get less than that. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُطْفِئُ نُورَهُ تَارَةً وَيُضِيءُ أُخْرَى. Some of them, the light will be extinguished sometimes and then it will come on again. It's like a car that's stopping and starting, spluttering along the way. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَمْشِي عَلَى الصِّرَاطِ تَارَةً وَيَقِفُ أُخْرَى. And some of them are who walks on the straight path and then he stops at other times. So it's like the car rides and it breaks down. Then it starts up again, it rides and it breaks down. That sort of thing. So each person, they will, according to their strength and the level and the amount of the iman, they will travel differently like this. And he says وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُطْفِئُ نُورَهُ بِالْكُلِّيَّةِ وَهُمُ الْخُلَّصُ مِنَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ الَّذِينَ قَالَ تَعَالَى فِيهِمْ يَوْمَ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتُ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا انظُرُونَا نَقْتَبِسْ مِنْ نُورِكُمْ قِيلَ ارْجِعُوا وَرَاءَكُمْ فَالْتَمِسُوا نُورًا. He says that there will also be some people whose light will be in its entirety, it will be extinguished. They will have no nur whatsoever. And these are the pure asli kafir munafiqeen. These are the ones who will be in this state. Like how Allah Ta'ala mentions with regards to them, that يَوْمَ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتِ. On that day, meaning the day of Qiyamah, when the male and female hypocrites, they will say لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا انظُرُونَا نَقْتَبِسْ مِن نُورِكُمْ. They will say, wait for us, let us get some of your light, give us some of your light. Meaning, hey, my petrol is running out, give me a little bit of gas to continue on with. So what will be said? قِيلَ رِجِعُوا وَرَاءَكُمْ فَالْتَمِسُوا نُورًا. They will be told, go back there and look for some light yourself. You're not having of my light? Go back. There's a filling station a little bit back there. Go get some light over there. Obviously, there won't be no light for them anyway. So, in any case, they will be sent away like that. وَقَالَ فِي حَقِّ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And Allah says with regards to the believers that يوم ترى المؤمنين والمؤمنات يسعى نورهم بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم بشراكم اليوم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. With regards to the believers, Allah has said that on that day, also again the day of Qiyamah, the believers, male and female, they will see their light flowing and running in front of them and on the right side. بشراكم اليوم, your glad tidings on this day will be جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار, gardens beneath which rivers flow, until the end of the ayah. وقال تعالى يوم لا يخزي الله النبي والذين آمنوا معه نورهم يسعى بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم يقولون ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا إنك على كل شيء قدير. And like Allah Ta'ala mentions in another ayah, on that day, again the day of Qiyamah, when Allah will not disgrace His Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the believers who are with him, their light will flow in front of them and on the right hand side. They will say, O our Lord, complete and perfect for us our light and forgive us, indeed you are all powerful over everything. So that is now with regards to this type of munafiqeen. This, as I can say, the slightly better type of munafiqeen, who is still a kafir, but he is not the khullasu min al munafiqeen, those pure asli munafiqeen who will be in absolute pitch darkness on the day of Qiyamah. These ones, they'll have a little bit of light which will take them a short distance, but then the light will run out and the car will cut out and they'll just stand there until they end up in Jahannam. So you have different types, and this will be explained in a moment as well. So in any case, that was like I said, a more figurative interpretation, the way Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah had given it here, that the storm is the state of darkness and doubts, and the thunder is the fear, while the lightning is the little bit of iman which is coming and disappearing from their heart, and things like that. So all that being there in its place, we now continue on for a little bit till the ending of the ayah. He says, وَقَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَذَهَبَ بِسَمْعِهِمْ وَأَبْصَارِهِمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. To continue on with the ayah, Allah had said that if Allah had wished, He would have taken away their hearing and their sight as well. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Indeed, Allah is all powerful and all capable over everything. عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما في قوله تعالى ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم قال لما تركوا من الحق بعد معرفته إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Okay, we move just, he says, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما, he said with regards to the ayah, ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم, if Allah wished, He would have taken away their hearing and their sight as well. قال لما تركوا من الحق بعد معرفته, because of them leaving the truth after having recognized it, meaning they had accepted iman and then gone across to kufr. إن الله على كل شيء قدير, أي إن الله على كل ما أراد بعباده من نقمة أو عفو قدير, that indeed Allah is all powerful through whatever He wishes to His servants, whether it's niqmah to punish them or afu to forgive them. So whether Allah wishes to punish a person or to forgive a person, it's all within the power of Allah to do so. وقال ابن جرير رحمه الله إنما وصف الله تعالى نفسه بالقدرة على كل شيء في هذا الموضع لأنه حذر المنافقين بأسه وسطوته وأخبرهم أنه بهم محيط وعلى إذهاب أسماعهم وأبصارهم قدير. Imam Ibn Jarir rahimahullah, he says that Allah has described Himself with having power over everything in this place here, because He is cautioning and warning the munafiqeen of His strength and His power and His punishment, that, and informing them that He is all encompassing of them, and obviously of everything as well, but in particular encompassing them, and has the power to take away their sight and their hearing without any difficulty whatsoever. So Allah is basically warning them that come on the right path before it's too late, because you are not outside the power of Allah. ومعنى قدير قادر كما معنى عليم عليم. He says the meaning of qadir is, the word qadir is the same meaning as qadir, which means one who is all powerful, like how the alim means alim, one who is all knowledgeable, or rather in the terms of mankind it means a person who is knowledgeable, but for Allah, Allah is all knowledgeable and all powerful. So he says, وذهب ابن جرير ومن تبعه من كثير من المفسرين إلى أن هذين المثلين مضروبان لصنف واحد من المنافقين. He says that Imam Ibn Jarir and those of the Mufassirin, many of them who has followed him, they in his interpretation, they were of the opinion that these two types, these two examples which Allah has given, it refers to one single type of munafiqeen. وتكون أو في قوله تعالى أو كصيب من السماء بمعنى الواو. He says that according to Imam Ibn Jarir and these other Mufassirin, they say that both these ayat which we had passed by, in this ayah أو كصيب من السماء, that this or like a storm, which is a rainstorm from the sky, he says this أو meaning or, but he says أو بمعنى واو. This word أو also means and, so it has a possibility of meaning both. So Imam Ibn Jarir, he took the opinion that it means and. So he says that the first group of munafiqeen who are asli kafir, this group of munafiqeen are also asli kafir. There's no goodness in them whatsoever. They're not two different levels of munafiqeen. Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he differed and he took the opinion that there are two different levels of munafiqeen. In any case, he continues, he says, كَقَوْلِ تَعَالَى وَلَا تُطِعْ مِنْهُمْ آثِمًا أَوْ كَفُورًا. This is now Imam Ibn Jarir's explanation and reasoning. He says it's like how Allah Ta'ala mentions وَلَا تُطِعْ مِنْهُمْ آثِمًا أَوْ كَفُورًا, and do not obey amongst them a sinner or a disbeliever. It means a sinner and a disbeliever. He was a disbeliever and a sinner, so it means it has the meaning of and as well. أو تكون للتخيير, أو it has the meaning of تخيير. There's a choice. Basically, this from an Arabic perspective here now is showing that this word أو has two possibilities, that it can mean and or it can mean or. Any case, he says أي اضرب لهم مثلا بهذا وإن شئت بهذا, meaning give them an example of this or give them an example of that. So أو كصيب من السماء, so give them an example of a person who has kindle a fire, or give them an example of a rainstorm coming from the sky. For تخيير, you use this one or this one if you take that opinion. So he says قال القرطبي رحمه الله أو للتساوي مثل جالس الحسن أو مثل جالس الحسن أو ابن سيرين. He says another meaning of this أو can also mean for tasawi, that they are equal, meaning sit either with Imam Hassan al-Basri rahimahullah or sit with Imam Ibn Sirin. You can sit with any one of the two, they are both great scholars. This is tasawi. He says this is also another possibility, it could mean this as well. ووجهه الزمخشري بأن كل منهما مساو للآخر في إباحة الجلوس إليه, ويكون معناه على قوله سواء ضربت لهم مثلا بهذا أو بهذا فهو مطابق لحالهم. Imam al-Zamakhshari, he said, he put the things together and he said that both of them are equal to the other. So either, meaning in permitting you to sit either with Imam Hassan al-Basri or to sit with Imam Ibn Jarir, you can go this way or this way. So he says, and that is how the same way the meaning of this ayah would be, that it's the same way that I give for them an example of this, meaning making the person who kindle a fire, or with this one, this storm coming from the sky. So فهو مطابق لحكمهم, whichever example I give, it will be perfectly in line with their state. Alright, so we last stopped here by قلت. In the last paragraph of he says قلت وهذا يكون باعتبار جنس المنافقين فإنهم أصناف ولهم أحوال وصفات. Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he now comments, he says, and this, all of this that has been mentioned previously, this depends according to the type of the munafiqeen, because they are of various types and they have different statuses and different characteristics and things depending on which type of munafiq you are talking about. كما ذكرها الله تعالى في سورة براءة ومنهم يذكر أحوالهم وصفاتهم وما يعتمدونه من الأفعال والأقوال. He says, like how Allah Ta'ala has mentioned them in Surah Bara'ah, and Allah mentions, and from them, and amongst them, and amongst them. Allah mentions different characteristics, speaking about the munafiqeen, meaning that these are different categories and types of munafiqeen that you do get. Meaning each time Allah mentions their status, their characteristics, what statements and what actions and things that they are doing, and Allah uses وَمِنْهُمْ amongst them. So not that all of them are the same, but that there are differences amongst them. فَجَعَلُ هَذَيْنِ الْمَثَلَيْنِ لِصِنْفَيْنِ مِنْهُمْ أَشَدُّ مُطَابِقَةً لِأَحْوَالِهِمْ وَصِفَاتِهِمْ وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ. So Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he says, so to make these two examples of the kindling the fire and the storm, to make them as two different types of munafiqeen, this is more closer and better to mutabaqa, for things to run smoothly and to be in accordance with the other ayat of the Quran, like these ones in Surah Bara'ah, that there are different types and not that they are both referring to the same type of munafiqeen, like how Imam Ibn Jarir rahimahullah and other mufassirin had mentioned. And this, you say, Wallahu a'lam, Allah knows what is the reality. So he says, كما ضرب المثلين في سورة النور لصنفي الكفار الدعاة والمقلدين. في قوله تعالى والذين كفروا أعمالهم كسراب بقيعة إلى أن قال أو كظلمات في بحر اللجي الآية. فالأول للدعاة الذين هم في جهل مركب، والثاني لذوي الجهل البسيط من الأتباع المقلدين والله أعلم بالصواب. So he says that these two types mentioned here are with regards to two different types of munafiqeen, like how Allah mentions in Surah An-Nur two examples as well for two different types of the kuffar, the du'a and the muqallideen. The du'at are those people who call people towards kufr, and the muqallideen are those who follow them in the kufr. So one is basically the master and one is the slave. This sort of the two different type of people. He says, for example, like how Allah Ta'ala mentions, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَعْمَالُهُمْ كَسَرَابٍ بِقِيعَةٍ, and those who disbelieve, their deeds are like a mirage in a valley. يَحْسَبُهُ الظَّمْآنُ مَاءً, as the ayah continues, that a thirsty person thinks that it is water. In any case, so he says right through until where Allah mentions أَوْ كَظُلُمَاتٍ فِي بَحْرِ اللُّجِّيِّ, or like a darkness in a very deep, vast ocean. So it's also here the same usage of the word "oh" as here we did "oh" in this ayah where they were differing. Is the "oh" for meaning "and", or is it meaning or what? All that sort of things. Same thing is being used here, and it's for two different type of kuffar. So therefore, when we put all these ayat together and things, and we look at it, then the opinion that Imam Ibn Kathir, that he himself is holding, he say that this one is closer to being correct than the opinion which says that it is all of them are referring to the same type of munafiqeen. So it says, the second, the al-awwalu, the first ayah, is those whose deeds are like a mirage. They are the du'at, those people who call them to kufr, and then while they are fi jahl murakkab, while they are in compounded ignorance. والثاني لذوي الجهل البسيط, the second type is كظلمات في بحر اللجي, those the darkness in the vast ocean. They are for the ذوي الجهل, those ignorant people who from the atba' al-muqallideen, who are also, they're just straightforward ignorant people, and they are the followers of these people who are calling them towards kufr and misguidance. Wallahu a'lamu bis-sawab. And that's the ending of the tafsir of ayah number 20 as well. And then on that point there, inshallah, we will end the class for tonight, inshallah. So until next time, we will end here for now, and we say وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.